Hey, what's up everybody? Rob Marzullo here, Ram Studio Comics. Welcome back. So today's video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about perspective. This is a quick scene that I worked up. We're not going to jump right into doing an advanced scene like this, so this isn't really advanced. This is actually pretty basic, but it may look advanced to some if they're not understanding the basic fundamentals that go into constructing one-point perspective like this. So first, in this video, we're going to go over some of the basic fundamental knowledge in one-point perspective, and then it'll lend you to understand what's going on in that scene there. So I'm going to start with something a little bit more horizon or landscape setting. And what I want to do is show you in Manga Studio, Clip Studio Paint here, is how to add a layer, ruler layer, like this, set it to one-point perspective, hit OK, and then we're going to go ahead and move this. I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference from a low horizon line to a high horizon line first. So this is one of the fundamental things that you need to understand when constructing perspective. And then keep in mind that you move these around by using the cube icon here, like this. And that if you grab the circular shape, you can move the perspective guide, which really these are just for visual representation. Once this is in place, they're all going to converge anywhere on the screen, but you can use this to line up to a previous sketch or whatever. Okay, so now the purpose of this is once you've got the horizon line placed, we'll say you want a high horizon line. And remember, this is where you're looking at in the scene. So this is where your eye fades off to the distance. That basically everything that you're going to illustrate that's below the horizon line, you'll be looking down upon, and everything above you'd be looking up upon. Now, basically the way it's set, you're not going to have a whole lot of room to be looking up at stuff, but you could still draw things above the horizon line, and that's predominantly how it works. So just for instance, if we go back to this scene, the horizon line would, if you were to bring these lines and converge them back like this, let's add a layer. And I'll actually just hold shift and click and bring it back to somewhere in the middle of the scene. So pretty much our vanishing point is right there. So you can find any vanishing point in any scene by doing what I've just done there. And that's helpful because when you study photographs, this is how you're going to learn about perspective and vanishing points and how to construct complex scenes. So let's go ahead and illustrate this, and I'll just do a basic drawing of the horizon line here. I'll do a cube. It's always good to start with basic primitive shapes and get the understanding first, and then use these primitive shapes to construct whatever scene you're trying to form. So you want to understand that if you were to do a cube sitting in this blank space like this, that these lines would go straight up and down, which the nice thing about this program is it gives you the up and down ability, and that these would converge. Let's do these in red. These would converge to our vanishing point like this. And if you were to draw through the object, these would actually converge as well to here, like this. So it's nice to try to envision things in a 3D perspective like this, and this will help you to start creating your scenes and not worrying so much about the process. From this point, you'll start thinking more in terms of how do I break down each object. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the ruler off. Keep in mind that in Clip Studio Paint here, if you take the ruler off, you can start drawing freely. So that's probably the quickest way. There's other settings like up here. So if you toggle that on and off, that'll take it off. The other thing is this, if you grab the actual ruler, you can actually toggle on each area. So each perspective line by hitting these little diamonds, and you'll see it change colors. So you can turn each one of these on and off interactively. So like that one there. And then what'll happen is it'll only snap to those others. So the benefit of that is when you're working on a complex scene that you can turn each one off and only focus on snapping to one guide. So that can be helpful. Another great thing about these rulers is keep in mind that you can create groups. So if you get a really intense scene, you can take all of these, put it inside the group, and move the group around, and your ruler will go with it. So that's highly effective for constructing, again, complex scenes where you get a lot of elements going on. Use these groups and the layers to your advantage and you can, make your life a lot easier. Okay, so this is our high horizon line. And let me go ahead and label these real quick. So again, this first video is just going to really be to let you guys know what this stuff means. So you got VP for vanishing point. Oh, actually we're still stuck on the perspective ruler. So VP for vanishing point. You've got HL for horizon line. And these would be your perspective lines. So we'll just put P for perspective. So that's essentially what goes into this very basic, and everything would conform to that. So let's go ahead and do a low vanishing point, or a low horizon line, I should say. So I'll start a new group, add a layer in there, and actually I'll just go ahead and add another perspective ruler. So you can add as many of these as you need. And now we're going to move this down to a low stance, low visual point, and bring these up like that. You can also tilt this. I don't do a whole lot of that because you could tilt your layers in your groups, so I just prefer to do it that way. Let's add our layer. Oh, we're not in our folder, are we? Let's get these in there. Okay. All right, so same thing. Let's go ahead and draw our horizon line. And let's just do another cube shape. Do it a bit more rectangular like this. So it's not real important what we're actually illustrating right now as much as understanding what we're going to be working on later. So basically now anything above this horizon line is going to look like we're looking up at it, the object like this. We can go ahead and draw through again just to visualize that a bit better. Neat way to find your lines, just so you know, since you have the ability to go back in this program with Command Z and Command Y to go forward. Just if you're ever trying to find the line, draw through and get a feeling for where you're at. Like it meets way back here. I would have perceived that it was way up here. So that tells me that my perspective on what this should look like is off. So I draw back to here, cross to here, and then if I go over, I can hit Command Z, just try to clean that up. Likewise, I can just set the brush to transparent and erase back, or go to the eraser. You can also set up brushes that don't snap to the ruler so that you don't have to toggle this on and off to erase back. So there's lots of little neat ways to speed up what you're doing there. So that gives us our upward perspective. So just remember, very basic, that if it's a low horizon line, you're looking up at any of the objects above the horizon line. And if the horizon line is up higher, then you're looking down at the objects. Now from here, it's just a matter of getting in there and using these tools to construct things that are more complex. Now remember as well, one of the neat things is if you hold shift, you can still do a straight line, click and point. So let me set to black here. And the reason why this is so important while working in perspective is that you can still get your ability to center things, and this works perspectively as well. So I'm clicking, holding shift, and clicking. And then I'm going back to the perspective tool like this, and I can quickly define the center, and I can start dividing these incorrect perspective to find center. This works really great for buildings. Works for pretty much anything. Just start doing it and you'll start to implement where this is really helpful in your illustrations. So again, this is all falling into perspective, and I was able to divide that up and get center, and then I can use these lines. I actually don't have to divide up here. I can use this line here and just go up. Just like that. So that's a great way to quickly get center, start placing windows or whatever you're working on. And in the next videos, we're going to get into 2 and 3 point perspective and then scene creation. But I just wanted to give you some basic fundamentals of the 1 point perspective and some quick tips on how you can use this. So hopefully this lesson has been beneficial for you. If you've liked it, be sure to like and share it and stuff like that. It helps me progress the channel. And remember that I've got course content. There'll be links in the description box below if you want to learn things like how to improve your figure drawing and drawing comic book faces, and more courses are on the way. So I appreciate all the support and you watching the channel. Be sure to check back for 2 and 3 point perspective, and I'll probably even create a playlist so that they'll all be together in that playlist, and we'll just address perspective because I know it's always a tricky topic for people. So thanks very much for watching. Keep drawing, keep having fun, and I will talk to you soon.